Hello, everyone. It's Sabrina Young with Young's Daughters Funeral Home and Bereavement Center. And I'm so excited because today we have Kevin Butler, and he's the regional director with Sepio Guard, a travel insurance group. And I'm really excited. So, Kevin, why don't you go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Sabrina. So my name's Kevin Butler. Like she said, I'm the director of sales for Sepio Guard, which is an away from home assurance plan. Which basically means that if your death occurs 75 miles or more from home, we take care of everything to get you back into the care of those who are going to be taking care of your pre-arrangements or wherever you've pre-planned for your funeral expenses. But yeah, that's the gist of our product. I'm gonna give you a little bit of background on how we came about. Our founders come from the pre-need industry. Chris Johnson and Bryce Beach both worked for 10 plus years with the largest pre-need agency in the nation, where they were able to implement and they were able to take sales from around 15 million a year all the way up to almost over 55 million per year. So our co-founders took their experience and brought it here and started Sepio Guard in order to better protect families. So that's kind of our backstory there.
That's great. I'm really glad that this is being offered because so many times, I'm a mother of 5, and if I'm scared to go on a cruise and saying, "Oh my gosh, how's my family going to get me back?" Right? Or maybe it's an occupational thing for many people if they have to travel away from home. Majority of the time, it's becoming more and more common that people are now, traveling away. And so I think this is a great gap insurance that you have here. So, tell me more about, what does that expense look like with your product versus, say, somebody passes away naturally and they have to come back home?
Yeah, great question. So say someone who doesn't have a Sepio Guard membership or an away from home assurance membership or a travel protection plan, whatever you want to call it. If someone were to not have that and they were to die away from home, there's lots of expenses that most people just don't really think about. So say you're in Texas and you're visiting family in Florida and death occurs while you're visiting your family. Getting the body shipped back to your home, crossing county and state lines, getting death certificates, preparing the body. There's lots of things in red tape that people just don't think about that we are able to just cut right through and take care of for the families who have this membership. That way they can get back to the care of who they've pre-planned with. And like I said, there's lots of, for example, if you were to die in Florida, just leaving the state, there's lots of laws and regulations to cross state lines. And even more if they're leaving the country, it's even more red tape that you have to cut through. And so all these processes that people don't think about that happen in the background and the cost of it all, I mean, it could easily out of the country could easily add up to thousands of dollars, out of the state, or even 75 miles out of the city could still add up to over thousands of dollars to get the body prepared and shipped back to where it needs to be.
Yeah, exactly. Because, per mileage right now, gas is going up, and funeral homes typically charge $2.50 a mile. So if you're going 30 miles, that's not too bad. But after you get beyond that, it does get pretty costly. And also, what about, is there any restrictions on how you transport? Like once we sign up for your product, is it land only? Do you do air flights? What is your main primary way of transportation, or is it all inclusive to any way to get us back home?
Yeah, so whatever is the quickest way to get the body back is typically how we go. If it's say it's 100 miles away, then typically, we're going to be preparing the body if needed and then driving. But most of the time, it's going to go by airplane. And yeah, there are certain restrictions on how you can ship a body, that we take care of all of that. put it in a shipping container and everything. So there's not really any restrictions per se for the membership. But there's lots of laws and restrictions that we just take care of all of it. So for a minimal fee, the membership can range, $450 or to $500, around $500 typically. And that everything else, the cost of everything else after that, we take care of. So
I love the concept. You only pay once and you get to keep it for the lifetime. You don't have to renew every 5 years or, so I travel, and many of us all travel so much. So I can see there's such a huge value in this, especially if you're doing your vacations or if it's a work order. I mean, I do believe so heartily, and I'm excited to start offering this through our funeral home and through our bereavement center. Is there anything else that you would like to highlight about your product? One thing I noticed was when a gentleman asked me for your product and he got an email right afterward, and he had immediate coverage. There's no health questions. There's no, how often do you drive questions. There's no, and it was just, you sign up and then you're protected. So I really found that was a very nice touch to your product. And then I know, if you don't get a printed card and you're not able to print, can you tell us about how you'll get your membership card?
yeah, exactly. So like you said, right when someone purchases the Sepio membership, the first thought that's in our mind when we built this product was, we understand what the client needs, the client family, as well as what the actual pre-need agent needs. So the experience that they both have is just outstanding. I mean, from submitting a sale to us to getting the information to the client family, it's a matter of seconds. So right when their membership's purchased, the person who purchased it is going to get an email within seconds with their temporary ID card. That way, say if they're going out of town that day or they're going to visit family that weekend, they have proof of their membership, and they're protected right when they purchase it, obviously. But they'll copy, so they'll have a physical card in the mail. They'll get about 2 weeks after purchase.
Well, great. Kevin, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to educate our community, because I do stand for what you guys have. And I definitely like to put my name to the stamps and saying, hey, this is where you're going to get this product. So thank you so much for coming and joining us today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Sabrina. Appreciate it.
All right. You have a good day.
You too. Bye.